Hey guys, what's up? This is Zach here at Ethereum Denver 2026 edition with Melvis from the Canton Foundation. Super excited to be here today.
Thank you. Thank
How are you?
Doing very well. It's a lot of excitement, but within the midst of everything else happening in markets, there's a lot of developer engagement here, and we've made some interesting announcements this week as well. So we'll see how that plays out, and try to get some developers into the Canton ecosystem.
So for those who don't know, what is the Canton Foundation in simple terms? What is it actually responsible for on the network?
Yeah. So if Canton is a public permissionless blockchain that was purposely built for institutional finance, but because it's a public chain, it also allows for the development of DeFi applications. And the unique aspect of what we built is it allows for developers and builders to launch applications with configurable privacy, controls, and interoperability. Today, we've been able to work with some of the largest financial institutions such as Goldman Sachs, HSBC, JP Morgan, and also some of the financial markets infrastructure providers like the DTCC, Broadridge, TradeWeb, and the likes. Outside of the institutional scope of what we do, on the DeFi side, there are builders launching prediction markets, lending and borrowing, vaults, all the way to swap products and perp dexes as well. And it's exciting to see in an upcoming few months, more and more of these will come online. And we'll see the proliferation of a DeFi segment in addition to TradFi applications on chain.
Why do you think Canton has done so well in this market when it is just pretty hard to succeed? To say at a minimum right now is brutal.
I think one of the key things that has happened, and for us, we've been building over the past 10 years, is that we've seen that there were too many protocols that have launched the ecosystem with just a white paper, no use cases, no tech, and also no applications in production. And so they were all coming to market under the value proposition of just hype versus having core values around utility and also around real revenues or real financial value itself. So with us, we spent the past 10 years observing the current market to understand what are dynamics around how to create a governance structure, how to create a tokenomics that may work, that brings aligned incentives to the builders on the network, and then making sure that we came to market when we had strong partners, strong use cases, and the tech was mature and ready. And so that's one of the key things that we're starting to see now, in a sense that it's probably jarring to see that there's some protocols out there that are sitting on like 500 million to a billion plus of market cap with only $50,000 or less in transaction value per year, which makes no sense. So yeah, and so like this washout that's happening, the ecosystem is starting to mature. The investors are starting to get more mature as well to try to understand that they need to evaluate value across utility, financial value, and not just on the hype value that most of these ecosystems.
So the hype train's over.
Yeah, it's very much so. Yeah, obviously there'll always be trends and narratives that pop up, but then people get more wise to try to dig deeper from just the immediate noise that is out in the market.
I kind of feel, and this is maybe that's my personal opinion, I kind of feel as if like crypto's kind of hung over right now. It's like everyone really partied hard.
Yeah,
No one thought about the morning of, and now the morning's here, and we're like, crap, like, that was a lot of fun, but
yeah,
we actually, the real builders, the people who are doing stuff are actually succeeding now.
yeah.
People who went purely off of just excitement or kind of like looking around like what happened. It was a challenge. Then they wake up.
Yeah.
How does foundation governance work day to day? Who makes decisions, and how do CIPs, committees, and super validators fit together?
Yeah. So the Canton Foundation's core goal is to foster transparency, neutrality, open development, and open governance of the whole Canton Network stakeholders. And these stakeholders include the super validators, the validators, and also the application builders and overall users within the network. And then the viability of a strong network is a composition of infrastructure, applications, users, and also assets on the network. And so within Canton, the operators of the interoperability layer are the super validators. They're the ones who, based off of a 2/3 majority vote, facilitate the governance and protocol changes. But then outside of this, our network is a foundation that is composed of members. So the members of the foundation include some of the largest financial institutions, all the way down to crypto native entities. So for example, the chairs of the foundation, the co-chairs of foundation are from the DTCC, the largest securities depository in the world with over $100 trillion worth of assets, and also Euroclear as well. But then outside of that, we also have members within foundations such as Goldman Sachs, HSBC, DRW Cumberland, and then some of the crypto native development shops such as Five North and the like. So it's an interesting mix of governance between traditional financial institutions and also crypto native players who are coming together to set the governance structures and contribute to the token growth as well. And so outside of the initial structures I just mentioned, we also have weekly committees that the ecosystem partners can contribute to. So there's a tokenomics committee, a tech and ops committee, an accountability committee.
Its own government.
It's quite fascinating to see, because also like on the weekly committee calls, we have over 100 people who come in to discuss some of the growth initiatives, some of the changes to the token governance or overall protocol standards itself. And at the end of the day, this is all public, and votes are made public, the 2/3 majority votes that happen. And we can really see the dynamic nature of how the ecosystem is evolving, and also how the protocol growth is evolving as well. Like last year, we're able to do 2 main network forks that happened seamlessly, and it just upgraded the scalability of Canton to the next levels that we've seen up to today.
When you think about keeping that balance and not letting any of those different entities have too much say, to make sure that it's still fair, how do you maintain that balance between all these different groups to make sure that one group doesn't sort of take over over time?
As I said, it's a 2/3 majority vote for
Okay.
most of the for the major tokenomics or the network structural adjustments to happen.
Can one of them grow the amount that they have?
No, it's such
Okay,
it's
okay.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So it purposely said that none can have like over I think over, I can't remember the percentage, but none of them can have a overly high majority of the votes,
Okay.
especially for the voting counterparties. Today we have 40 super validators on our network, and so all of them can contribute to the token activities. But then outside of that, we have over 50 members within a foundation, and when any major initiatives is being discussed, they all can contribute to basically providing their feedback and their experiences to help us structure perfectly.
What does it take to become a super validator?
Yeah, so to become a super validator, you need an endorser from one of the existing. Anyone can become a super validator to start out, and then you need to have an endorser from the existing super validators. And then once you endorse, you have to structure a Canton improvement proposal. Basically, create a proposal to highlight what is the value that you're going to bring to the network. From there, you set milestones, deliverables, and a timeline to achieving them. And then the existing supervisors will review that, deliberate back and forth with the partner who is looking to propose to join as a super validator, and then eventually vote on them coming to network, especially if they have a strong core value or growth initiative that can bring to the network. So most recently, NASDAQ became a super validator. The DTCC also became a super validator. And then some of the older super validators that we have are Circle was a super validator as well, Layer Zero, and the like. So crypto native, TradFi institutions, they can become super validator if there's an area that was within their own core business that they think they can contribute to the network, they can openly apply to become one as well.
That is really cool.
So the big difference between us versus other networks where the largest players, they can buy their way in.
That's
typically, right? But within Canton, anyone could start from zero and join and contribute as a super validator.
How long do they become a super validator for then? And when do other cycles open continuously?
Oh yeah, so anyone can join anytime, and then there isn't a deadline, there isn't a time frame or a term. There's no term to become a super validator. It's basically you set your initial proposal as to the timeline for you to deliver the initial product, but then afterwards you're part of the governance of the network. So it's so you're part of it, and as you contribute, you maintain your position in it. But then the beauty is that within Canton, we have the accountability committee as well. So if you join as a super validator and get to a point where you're totally not contributing, or you're doing something that's adverse to the network broadly, one of the existing super validators or committee members could make a proposal to kick you out of the whole super validator subset. So far, we haven't gone to any contention around that within a network, but it's all an active, dynamic ecosystem where you can join at any point that you want. But then there's a accountability committee as well that evaluates the contributions and commitments and support around the governance of the network.
From a builder or ecosystem partner's perspective, what concrete support does the foundation provide? Grants, standards, governance access, or go-to-market help?
Yeah, that's the perfect question in the sense that we're here this week with a hackathon. And then outside of that, we just recently launched the Canton Development Fund as well. And this initiative was launched to help spur and contribute and support people coming to the network to contribute to the core R&D of the network smart contract itself, developer tools, resources, reference application build out, all the way to the security and audit work, in addition to providing some seed capital to the DeFi ecosystem as well.
How large is this grant?
So the grant is 5% of all future Canton coin mineable within the ecosystem go towards this fit. This
So it's a significant bucket.
yeah, definitely, and it's perpetual too.
So I should tell the people I know who are builders to
Definitely, yeah. We just announced it today, so the blog post went out, and website also it got launched within the Canton Foundation site.
It's really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, perfect place here at ETH.
And then outside of this too, in terms of builders coming to the network, Canton, the foundation team, my team is very active with helping the protocols with go-to-market support, and just definitely and generally navigating the Canton ecosystem across things like getting partnerships in place. And also because when we launched Canton, it was a fair launch. There was no pre-sales, pre-mines, or pre-allocation. We have gotten a lot of venture capital interest in wanting to help support the builders within Canton ecosystem. So my team also introduces protocols to investors who are looking to learn more about who's building and also the next protocols that are launching within ecosystem.
Yeah, if you're watching this, Canton seems like the place to build. Honestly, I think for you, if you're watching this, you should definitely go and follow Canton and check it out yourself. It's really fascinating to see the amount of progress that they've made over the past 6 months to a year. And when I say progress, like real tangible progress, not just hype, there's real product updates coming out, these new programs, really things that I think that people here should get involved in. What are you hoping to get out of ETH Denver this year?
Yeah,
Canton.
Yeah,
It's just about it briefly, but
yeah, it's been also seeing the amount of interest in our network and just people who are curious about what they can do within Canton. So what we wanted to get out of the event was to introduce Canton to builders, introduce them to our upcoming hackathon, and then from there, introducing the development fund as well was very important. And broadly, the best thing about Canton is if you are a developer or builder, Canton is a great place for you because other networks are quite saturated with many of the existing protocols that are launching. You don't want to be the 100th or 150th DEX or swap or perp on one of the other chains. But in Canton, it's so early that you can come in, launch your application, build some traction, and also be incentively aligned in the sense that when you launch an app, you're providing utility to the network, you're also able to be incentivized with Canton Coin for it, as opposed to other networks where it's only the infrastructure providers who mine all the or get rewarded for providing for the transaction activity that comes through. But in Canton, infrastructure providers get rewarded, but the bulk of the rewards go to the developers themselves as well. So incentives are aligned. We have an ecosystem fund, and it's a new and burgeoning ecosystem where it'll be exciting to get new builders in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the fantastic interview.
Thank you.
Always in. Make
you.
sure to follow them on social media.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow Melvis especially. He's got some really banger tweets occasionally.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. There's a lot coming out.
There's a lot coming out.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching and see you guys soon. Hey, what's up?
This is
But
Zach.
it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
How
hive.
do you know we do not understand?
Three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.